Once again, coming in with an awkward silence.
I don't agree. I think it was a just fine silence.
It was somber.
A moment of silence for whatever it is. Welcome to Humor Highwire. Today, we have yet another new segment for you. But before that, we are going to be talking about food, real food this time. We're going to do a delicious or disaster, and I'm running it, so it's going to make sense. I hope.
Yeah. None of that asparagus stuff in there, man.
Yeah. We'll
Gross,
talk about
inedible.
Tupperware, microplastics.
Styrofoam being
What else are you going to bring?
deadly to eat.
What else are we doing in this episode?
I think that was it, guys, actually.
Okay, Tupperware, microplastics, and maybe we can cover...
We're also be chewing on some questionably legal things that might happen in our new segment, Does It Law? That's it. I'm done introducing it. We'll talk about it more when we get there.
Are we going to talk about microtransactions in games?
What?
No,
Why not?
We're
Because
not talking about gaming right now.
because not everything has to be about gaming.
I know, but that's so topically relevant. So I was just curious.
Nah, I got some more topically relevant things that'll definitely come up in each of our lives. So, totally important to be talking about them. So,
Okay.
Perfect. Love it. Okay. Well, first, we're going to jump into a delicious or disaster.
Delicious or disaster.
Yeah, so I'm running it this time around, and the way that we had initially pitched this, the coffee table talk for this segment, was to get a list of food items, and then had the other hosts have to put it together as like this is something that would actually be a decent thing to eat. So I've compiled a list of 10 items, and you two, your job is draft style. You guys are going to pick 3 things back and forth, and then you have to think of a way to combine those 3 things into something that might be edible, that might be halfway not awful to eat. So I'm going to start by listing these things off. So we've got canned tuna, the stuff in water, not the stuff in oil. Wasabi paste, black licorice, durian, blue cheese, boiled egg, pickled beets, sour cream and onion chips, miso paste, and maraschino cherries.
I have a question right out
Sure.
the gate.
Yeah.
Now, is that sour cream and then onion chips?
No, it's sour cream and
That's the like, like the Lay's like classic sour
Yeah.
cream and onion
Okay,
chips.
sour cream and onion chips. Yeah.
I don't know. The way I was reading it in my head was like you got a tub of sour cream and you got your onion chips on the side, and
They're not even potato chips. They're just slices of onion. They just said they're chips. They're just baked onion slices.
All right. And is this a team effort?
No. So
Okay.
you guys are draft style picking 3 things each, and then you're trying to put something together that would be not awful. And I'm going to judge what I think is the best, but we'll also put it out to the listeners to see what they think.
What does miso paste taste like?
It's miso paste is kind of like, it's like a bean-based paste. One second. Let me
It's
pull up
Is it
this.
like
paste?
burrito bean paste? Like,
No, that's refried.
No,
beans.
it's a different thing.
okay. Kind of hoping it was like burrito bean paste. You know what I mean?
refried.
I was kind of hoping it
beans.
would be like that.
Like refried beans.
Like I'm kind of hoping
It's
we could.
it's
like,
a fermented
make it,
soybean paste.
Oh.
like... Oh.
Okay.
So it's
Huh.
like wax. It's like wax.
What?
It's not like wax.
do
What are
mean
you
it's like
talking?
Kind of
wax?
exactly like wax, right?
There's a
'Cause
whole-
because
there's-
like soybeans, they like taste like wax. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
they kind of taste nasty, like
You're-
wax.
No, see, some people think lima beans taste like wax. Have you had a soybean?
I feel like it's kind of like I've had a soybean.
Our editing skills are so fine-tuned that you didn't even realize that we cut off and are now back. So here we go.
We were actually just testing you
Yeah,
to
all
make
of
sure
you,
that you were paying attention.
all of you lovely
It
listeners
was
from
crazy
across the globe.
because what happened was I actually blew the draft so far out of the water that both of them decided it was unfair. They rewound it back and they told me I couldn't take the same things. So, yeah.
Yeah, no. I don't remember if in that first 6 minutes I explained how this works, but yeah. So here's the deal. Just to recap it, editor will have to go back and stop me if I am explaining this twice over. But essentially, how this works is I have a list of 10 items, and the other two hosts are draft style going to select items off of that list, and they're going to have to put together some sort of dish that is not awful. Now, I did specify this in the previous We Thought We Were Recording session, but you can add things to it, but the 3 ingredients that you pick have to be like the central point of the dish. So you can add like herbs and spices or like some adjoining stuff. Like if you wanted to add, I don't know, like ketchup if you're doing stuff with your eggs, like a heathen or whatever. But you can like add condiments to stuff or maybe smaller side dishes, things like that. But the main purpose of whatever you're making has to be those 3 items. Previously, in another world, Matt went first, and he chose.
Wait, let me tell them what I chose.
Okay. Go. What was your first pick? You won the coin toss. What was your first pick?
My first pick was tuna.
Okay, fantastic. I also
Water.
didn't read off the entire list. So the first list was the list was canned tuna in water, wasabi paste, black licorice, durian, blue cheese, boiled egg, pickled beets, sour cream and onion chips, miso paste, and maraschino cherries. So Matt won the coin toss, and the first pick he took was the canned tuna in water. Justin, what was your first pick?
My first pick, of course, is the ever classic, ever necessary sour cream and onion chips. Just a staple in every household, something that nobody could believe, existing without, and I couldn't either.
You want to know what's great about take 2? Is that the first time around, you were so upset that he took the tuna from you, and you were just like, I guess I'll take this. And in take 2, you're like, yeah, this is totally what I meant to take.
Yeah.
This was
And,
pick number
like,
1.
I always
also,
wanted this.
throwing it out there, as someone who works for chips, I work for Big Chips. I
work for Big Chips.
Sour cream and onion, specifically, not that great of a flavor. I'll say it. It doesn't sell that good. It doesn't sell as good as you think it would. Just throwing it out there.
That is surprising to me.
You know what it is? It could
Fake
be the
news. Fake news.
The area that I'm in, just doesn't like it. They like to take a ride on the wild side.
Because I don't know.
And
It's weird because the
pickle.
biggest thing that makes me think that might not be accurate, like nationwide or globally, is like most major chip brands, like the first thing that you end up seeing is like original, barbecue, sour cream and onion.
Yeah, that's true. But you know it's gotten bad when the sour cream and onion flavor has moved from the front of the rack to a little basket on the side.
Oh yeah, I mean that's yeah. All right, so
called
Justin,
the end cap. It's the advertising hub
Well,
of the
whole
rack.
The whole rack is an end cap, so
It's a
Retail.
highlight. It's the highest of the lights.
Anyway.
Okay. What was your second pick, Matt?
Second pick was a boiled egg. What? Wait, do I get multiple boiled eggs? Can I have multiple?
Yeah, that was my type of boiled eggs. Yes. Hard-boiled eggs.
It actually
You get a
does
single
say
egg.
Singular.
It does say
I mean,
boiled
I
egg. I
could
forgot
make
to
it
put the
work.
S.
If it's
So,
Look, I
boiled
type
other
really
things
fast and
specify plurality on the
look,
list. I'm just saying.
hey, as
It
the
says
host and
pickled
creator,
beets.
look, as the creator of the list And also, as somebody that who you've seen type things into places where you type things, I don't always proofread what I type before I send it. Okay, I missed the S on egg. Leave me alone. It's
I also know you to be somebody who double and triple checks your work and is hyper specific.
I gotta say, I just
That's
gotta
true.
agree with the host on this one. I mean, he meant to put the S in boiled eggs. Clearly, it was
Because the thing about it is,
small mistake.
because everything else, if you think about it, everything else is pluralized.
This
Everything
is
else
a
is
rigged
pluralized.
draft. This is a
Ugh,
rigged
my-
draft. They rigged the draft, ladies and gentlemen, but that's okay.
All right,
We're too
I'll-
big to
so
be.
let me
I'll
so let
take
me ask you
boiled
this.
Big to
egg
be.
If you take sour cream and onion chip.
It says chips.
No.
Plural.
No.
On mine.
If you take sour cream and onion chip, I'll take boiled egg.
No, mine was
That's the rules.
specified plural. Look at it.
Listen,
You want to bet?
the spirit of the list is that everything is pluralized. Because if you look at this list, everything but boiled egg is
And sour cream and
pluralized.
onion chip.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot the S on that too. There you go.
No,
Okay.
you didn't. He just edited that. I watched it happen.
Okay.
Pickled beet.
Now
Everything is singular.
Now all of the items are singularized on the list. So we also
See, but
have
that-
pickled beet.
See, they have to put blue cheese. So you're not even doing it right at this point. It would be like a blue cheese or a wasabi paste.
How do you do that?
That's
I don't know.
what's up,
One
paste.
black licorice.
We are so.
It's now a what's up
far
paste.
Off of.
Okay,
Where
so
we
in the
go?
show notes, my friends, in the show notes of this episode, we're gonna put the updated list of the terrible things they've done, and you'll just get to see what they did to it. What's up, paste? I love that. Okay, anyway, Matt took boiled eggs. Justin, what was your second pick? Do you remember? I remember what it was.
I do too.
My second I'm sorry, the list has gotten much better. I'm gonna go with what's up paste as the second pick.
For anybody who's lost the thread, that's wasabi paste.
All right.
Okay.
Well, my last one was miso paste, also known as miso pat.
Oh.
Our listeners are going to be so confused. We messed up the recording. I mean, the recording was totally fine once, and it's great because we made it all the way through this, and now we're doing it again, and it's just gone way off the walls.
What was your third pick, Justin?
My third pick
I remember.
is obviously blue cheese.
Also known in the real world as blue cheese. Okay.
He's a monk, dude. You gotta let it go.
What dish did you come up with, Matt? We had already talked about this in
So-
another universe. So what did
This is right where it ended, and just a rehash. I was obviously going for like a tuna salad kind of deal, but we're using miso paste as our for our base. I also said since we can add stuff to the dish, like herbs, spices, whatever. I was saying throw some black pepper in there, and I actually also thought, this could use a little bit of a kick. So let's throw some red chili flakes in there too.
Okay. You got to be careful with how many you put in there. It might throw some people off.
I mean, not
Look,
really.
when Gordon tries these dishes, he's looking for a balanced dish. He doesn't want something that's going to burn his face off. He's going to call it garbage,
Well,
but in a
to
much
be
more
fair-
aggressive and cursy kind of way.
To be fair, like chili flakes are probably like they're really low on the spice table. If we're
The Scoville scale.
Yeah, they're very very low Scoville on there. Definitely not a ghost pepper or California Reaper.
Well, sure. I'm just saying we're looking for balance here. That's
or
all.
plutonium.
Okay. Justin, what culinary wonder are you putting together?
So I am kind of approaching this thinking that what I'm putting together is a nice chip and dip recipe.
Okay.
So I'm looking
One chip
to,
and one dip.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be. It's going to be a singular chip.
It's
Uh,
it's one of those experiential
but
dishes,
it's going to be a
not meant
dip.
to be.
Yeah, you don't replicate this. It's
It's a
art.
one bite.
It's artwork.
I have a small question for you.
Yeah.
Is it a single question?
What is the base form of blue cheese?
What do you mean?
What does blue cheese look like?
Moldy
It's
cheese.
powder.
What?
Yep,
I mean, it's moldy cheese.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
What?
This guy has not seen blue cheese.
I have.
Wild.
I eat it on my buffalo pizza all the time.
Yeah, blue cheese dip.
It's
Yeah,
not.
but no, I also get the blue cheese granule stuff.
Crumbles.
The
Yeah,
the crumbles of the actual cheese.
Yeah. I know what blue cheese is. Relax.
Right,
I know what it is.
I was just double checking because you
The first thing that came out of your mouth was powder, so I don't know.
I was wondering if you were
sawdust.
asking what form it was going into my dip in. That's all. Like I would put the powdered version in there.
The powdered version?
I would say blue cheese. The intent on the list is blue cheese is like the cheese, the thing that is what it is.
Yeah, but you can prep it. Like I would
You gotta freeze
would
dry
grate
it
it.
and pound it into a powder. Like what?
I would grate it.
You don't, sure. Yeah. Okay.
You take the block and you take the shredder thing and you grate it off.
Okay.
What's the shredder
I
thing
want you
called?
to- I want you.
I
to
have one in my house. I don't know what
pull-
it's called, okay, but I've used it.
Pull up a picture of a block of blue cheese for me.
Like I don't want to get into the semantics here.
The whole point of this was to get into the semantics. How are you gonna?
Then after I'm done with that step, okay, then I'm gonna add in. I'm gonna add in.
So he grated the cheese with the
wasabi.
cheese grater.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna add in that. Then I'm gonna add in the wasabi paste. Okay, and I know what that looks like.
Okay, sure. What's it look like?
It looks kind of like guacamole.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It does.
It does. Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna put that in as well, and then I feel like that's got a pretty good dip consistency going on.
I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
So that wasabi paste, right?
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a kick to it.
Yeah.
All right. What's it made out of? Just curious. Just curious for my sake.
I'm not dignifying that with a response.
Just for me.
That's the quintessential I don't know.
I'm not dignifying that with a response. Okay?
I think you're thinking
Gordon
of,
Ramsay wouldn't dignify that with a response.
I think you're thinking of wasabi paste made out of
I'm
horseradish.
looking at
Au contraire, mon frère. If you asked Gordon Ramsay where wasabi paste derives from,
Japanese wasabi
he would tell
paste.
you. He would tell if you truthfully didn't know and you were just like, "Hey, Mr. Ramsay, I really need to know this. Can you help me out?" He would explain it to you because he's all about helping people out if they don't know stuff. He gets all up in people's business when they act like they know stuff and then they don't.
Maybe I'm the Gordon Ramsay here because I'm telling you right now, the wasabi paste you're thinking of, Justin, that's horseradish.
Okay. Well, it actually comes from wasabi plant.
Yeah, that's where it's supposed to come from. Here in America, though, it comes from.
But this is not.
So, are you melting the blue cheese?
No, he said he's gonna get the metal thing.
It's a cheese grater.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked that up.
There we are. There it is.
So he's got to take the cheese grater and grate blue cheese.
Yep.
Yeah.
The block of blue cheese. It actually comes as a cheese wheel.
Okay, wait a minute. But here's the thing. Blue cheese doesn't grate super well. I'm just going to tell you that.
There's some nuance to this.
It comes out kind of crumbly. But here's the thing.
Yeah, that's what you want, though. That's what I want.
Okay. So how much wasabi paste are you adding to this blue cheese?
Well, the wasabi is the base, like, consistency
Flavoring.
to the dip. I
So
want
you are,
I want that to be the main focus.
so are you adding anything to this, or is it just wasabi paste and blue cheese?
No, of course we're adding, accentuating
Huh?
spices.
Such as?
Such as-
Well, what I would do is I would go to Gordon Ramsay's spice rack, and then I would take out my phone, and then I would type into Google, okay? And I would
Yeah.
look up what spices accentuate wasabi paste.
I like this. I like this version of delicious or disaster more because it feels like I won by default.
And then Google
I
would
think
tell me
I think you would have a better fight if it was you and me.
that
But like,
ginger is very good with it.
okay, yeah,
And
This guy
so
just looked up a
is
sushi
cayenne
dish.
powder and garlic powder. So
Okay.
I'd probably go for those.
sure. You'd put those spices into your wasabi paste blue cheese crumble dip with your sour cream and onion chips.
Yep.
Okay. Anything
Wait,
else?
what,
or are you
what
set?
brand sour cream and onion chips? Just for me, just for my sake.
I'm not dignifying that with a
No,
response.
please. This is really
No.
important.
That
This is
actually
really
does.
important.
It would make a difference to me. What brand are you choosing? It really would, actually. So
You know what?
I won't. So let me say this. It's not going to mean anything less if you pick a brand I don't like, but it will mean more if you pick a brand I do like.
Okay.
He's
Looking up-
googling chip brands.
Do you not know
I'm
chip
looking up. I'm take here this.
What is the best
Yeah.
chip brand in the world?
No. We're not looking for that. I'm gonna get
Which one's the best?
cauliflower. I'm gonna get cauliflower potato
What?
chips, sour cream and onion. Yep.
Okay,
it.
what's the brand?
That's the one.
Wait.
That's the
wait.
brand.
It does.
It just
sour
say
cream and
it just
onion.
says chip.
It's ground
So-
up. It's ground ups.
You know
Yeah,
what
they-
I would choose. I would choose Ruffles because they dip better.
Yeah, that if he had said Ruffles, that
I'm
would have
picking
been
ground up. Nope, I'm not picking Ruffles. You know why?
Okay.
Is the
why?
brand ground up, or are you just saying that the cauliflower is ground up before they put it in chips?
Actually,
No, the brand is ground up, and it
Okay.
says cauliflower potato chips, sour cream and onion.
Where are you
Okay,
buying
okay.
those? Because
Sure.
I've never seen them.
Whole Foods.
I think I can get them at Whole Foods according to the packaging. Yeah.
Okay. So, as much of a journey as that was, I still got to give it to the tuna salad because here's the thing. I can tell you put a lot of effort into making this dip, but it's still based on what you said, spices, wasabi paste, and blue cheese crumbles. There's nothing to emulsify it into a dip. It's just stuff that's chunked together. And you could argue that the wasabi dip is like the wasabi paste is the main thing, but you'd have to put so much wasabi paste in there that I don't think it would be appetizing. Now I could be wrong, which is why, final decision goes to the listeners if they would be so inclined to give us their opinion on this. But my personal opinion is to go with the egg salad because I don't want to destroy my sinuses.
So the wasabi, it wouldn't because if
It not the Japanese style. It wouldn't, but like it's still like the consistency wouldn't scream dip to me without adding some sort of emulsifier or something to like liquefy it a little bit more.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasabi paste is already kind of emulsified, is it not? Okay, or we could just not speak anymore. All right, guys, great podcast episode.
Well, listen, I have
This is-
nothing.
I
else
said
to
let me
say
make sure. I specifically said let me make sure.
because it's clear. It's clear how this has been panning out from the beginning. All right, it's been obvious from the rip. It's been obvious, so I don't feel the need to say anything else. It's fine. It's fine.
This one was over from pick one.
Which I didn't get, mind you.
I hate to say it, but tuna.
So it has a consistency similar to toothpaste. I will say
Yeah.
okay. So I will say it could be okay.
Okay, now think
It's
about
more of
this.
an even jump now.
Think about this though. You get your sour cream and onion chip, right?
Yeah, your single chip.
You dip it in toothpaste. And you eat that.
Okay, well, hold on, wait a minute. There are legitimate dips out there that have the consistency of toothpaste. Okay,
Yeah, like this one that he made.
Look, okay.
I was
Honestly,
thinking I would actually try that.
I was just gonna say, a wasabi paste and blue cheese dip. I think I would actually try that.
Might be
So
hard on your stomach though.
it might be. On like the safe choice is the egg salad, but there's also a case to be made for the wasabi dip. I don't know.
I got some kick in there though. I got the black pepper.
You got the black pepper and the chili flakes, yeah. Yeah, you do. But he came back with the ginger, the garlic, and the cayenne too. So it's got a little bit of spice in there from the cayenne.
Yeah,
It's got
but
that.
I've already got strong flavors in there. So
Yeah, no, I'm just saying he did some things to kind of even it out a little bit, so that I don't know. I think for the safety of my gut biome, I'd still go with the egg salad, but strong contender for the wasabi paste blue cheese dip with a single chip.
My only problem with his really is the fact that he didn't choose like a thicker chip to dip it in, because now you've got that issue where you're dipping the chip and it breaks inside of the dip.
You want to know why I went with that chip?
You got
to be health conscious.
I went with that chip exactly because it's made out of cauliflower.
Yeah,
wonderful.
But like it's gonna break off in the dip, and you're gonna have to use the chip.
Okay. We'll leave it up to the listeners. We'll turn this into a short too. So all of you who like to look at our TikToks and all that sort of stuff, let us know what you think. Okay, let us know who won. Okay.
Kesha song in my head.
Anyway, let's move on to our second segment. Does it law?
Folks, this is your captain speaking, and I'm afraid we're going to have to find out right now, once and for all, does it law?
Welcome to Does It Law, my friends. I'm your host, the Clown. Some call me the biggest clown. And today I've got 3 scenarios I'm going to be putting you guys in, all right? And essentially what I want you guys to do, well, maybe 3. We'll see how the time goes. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to tell me if what you're doing in these scenarios is legal or not. This is probably going to be a bit tricky. As far as points, I think for this trial run, we're going to say if you get all of them wrong, then I get the point. If you guys get even one right, then you guys both get a point.
Do we have to be in consensus?
Yes, it has to be in consensus. I just think I don't know how hard it's going to be, so let's start it off easy.
Okay.
You know what? For this occasion, I have a nice little sound bite. For this.
Did you put it in the media thing?
No, it's going to be horrible audio quality.
Oh God.
It's going to be horrible audio quality.
What?
Okay, you ready?
No.
In your cooked lube, bro.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Love that. So
Yeah, you're cooked, little bro.
Let's jump right into our. Oh, good. It's the short one. You didn't do the 36-second one. The clapping. Right. So jumping into our first scenario. This is going to be a fun one. So, in this scenario, you live in Iowa and you find that you are quite hungry. The only issue is that you're lost in one of the abandoned towns of Idaho. Did I say
Wait,
Iowa?
are we in Iowa or Idaho?
That should be Idaho.
Okay. Like, we teleported.
I'm so sorry. But Idaho. All right, so you live in Idaho. You're lost in one of the many abandoned towns of Idaho. It's very remote. There's no food anywhere to be seen. You have to live. So what do? You safely amputate your own arm and you eat it. Is that legal?
Is Idaho No, that's Utah. Is where all the Mormons are, right?
I
Salt Lake
don't
City, Salt Lake
I
City, Utah. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know the answer to that question, but I know the answer to this question.
Salt Lake City, Utah is Mormon town. So Utah. I mean, Idaho is also a Mormonistic state too, because I know somebody from there whose family was Mormon. I'm not saying everybody from Idaho is Mormon. I'm just saying there's a presence out there.
I'm going to say this. If a host gives me more information than is required that is also true that I have written down here, I will give an extra point to that host.
Okay. I'm ready.
Something's telling me that it is illegal. Probably something along the lines of like bodily mutilation is illegal,
Or
but it might
cannibalism.
or cannibalism. Yeah, so it's either like bodily mutilation or cannibalism is illegal, but it could be something even like less specific than that. Like certain body modifications are illegal depending on like what it is.
Mm.
So it could be something of that nature too. Because if I do remember correctly, I believe Idaho is also a state that leans towards one of the more passionate colors of the spectrum. So that wouldn't surprise me a little bit. Yeah, so it's not legal. I'm going with that. You agree,
Yeah,
Justin?
I agree. I agree.
Okay. So already you guys are getting a point for this whole segment.
Fantastic.
I will also give a point to Ian. And I'll get into that in a second. So, yes, eating your own arm is in fact illegal in Idaho. In fact, the reason is it's cannibalism. It
I'm
is
the one who
illegal.
said cannibalism.
Be angry about it.
I'll get into it. In Idaho, it is actually the only state where cannibalism is illegal. In any other state, it is legal, but extremely difficult to do legally, and it's for many reasons. One, it's really hard to acquire human remains in a legal way because like there's murder, there's like there are very few ways you could buy it from their specific vendors, but it's really expensive. And it's really hard to buy it from someone where it's actually like legally acceptable to consume it as well, because it has to be prepped in a specific way. So the reason I want to give it to Ian this extra point is because he was getting into the semantics of, well, if it's not for cannibalism, it's for like, oh well, I
So
forget
if
what
it's not for the
specifically
right
he said.
reason, then it must be for all these wrong reasons. That's
Yeah.
why you're giving the
Yeah,
point
yeah.
to him.
Yep.
Okay,
And
that
I
makes
actually
sense.
I will literally like send the document that I've typed up here so that you guys
I feel
kinda,
like that's a logical fallacy.
no.
You're giving him a point. You're giving him a point because he said if it's not for this right reason, then it must be for all of these wrong reasons.
Yeah, but he was like giving examples, and he was it like logically it his logic was very sound. And it's
Okay.
not just okay, well if it's not illegal for this reason, it's illegal for this reason. He was saying it was like illegal because like
I won't fight for this. So if you're
I'm
really
giving
that
it to
upset,
Ian. I'm the fucking host.
okay.
Okay.
You have
Well,
two more
I'm just
questions where
going to
you can
throw
get-
this out there. Like, I didn't have a chance to even say anything to defend the cannibalism point because I thought this was just a collaborative piece. And I threw that out there because I was going to make a big point about why I felt like cannibalism was going to be the reason why it was not okay.
Yeah.
And I felt like the job was done well enough covering the ground. So I didn't get a chance to even like elaborate on that. So
I will open the floor to you on the next one. I do have a tendency
And
to just
if
start
you
running.
all right, you know what? If you want to give him half of your point, that's on you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll give him half the point. I do have a
Half a point and a
tendency.
half right now.
It's fair. I do have a tendency to just kind of like take the wheel and start going, well, you see, words and stuff. I need to get better at letting other people talk.
I like a little bit of competition in my collaborative efforts. Anyway, so we're moving on to hypothetical scenario number 2. All right, so you're in Connecticut and you're selling pickles.
What?
A man comes up to your pickle booth. He takes a pickle, drops it from approximately 1 foot from the ground. The pickle does not bounce. Is that illegal?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I was too busy laughing. Wait, okay, so you're in Connecticut and you sell
Yeah.
pickles, and
Yeah.
a man comes up to your pickle booth and
Yes.
purchases a pickle from you.
Yes.
So many plosives. And he drops it less than a foot from your stand.
Approximately 1 foot from the ground.
Approximately he drops it approximately 1 foot from the ground.
Yes.
So when he's
But
like bent over and then he just drops it on the ground.
Yes, exactly. But
What
the
the-
pickle doesn't bounce. Is that illegal?
What do you think, Justin?
I'm going to go with that it's not illegal.
Why?
I'm going to go with that it's not illegal because I'm going to guess that the semantics of this, that it's a precedent set by a case that went through court. And I think that in all likelihood, the reason that the specification is sitting there with the bouncing and the height differentials has to do with how specifically intentional the droppage of the property is in this case.
Let me specify, because I think my wording might have tripped you up. What I'm looking for is, you as the seller, is your pickle illegal?
Okay.
Same logic. It's just
Yeah,
keep
I
going,
think that's
but
that's
I
that's
think I
where
tripped you up because
that's
you're
where my
saying-
brain was too. I was a little confused because to me I was like, okay, this has to be something to do with like the veracity of the pickle. Like if he drops it from about a foot off the ground and it doesn't bounce, it's a good pickle. But if it does, it's a bad pickle. Like that's where my brain went because of the specificity. But you're definitely right, Justin. It had to be something to do with like there was a court case and there was like research done on this, and they were like, we've tested this, and if you drop it from about a foot and if it bounces, it's a bad pickle, but if it doesn't, it's a good pickle. But more than a foot, and then you can't tell because it's too much of a drop and your pickle explodes.
Yeah.
Okay, so to clarify, I want to make sure that this is very clear. Do we think the pickles that are not bouncing are the pickles illegal or not? Or
So
legal?
if the pickle doesn't bounce, it's legal.
If the pickle doesn't bounce, that would make it good.
Yes,
If it does bounce, that would make it bad.
right.
That's
It's
what
too
I'm
much.
going
It's
with.
too much of a cucumber if it bounces, so that's
Yeah.
bad.
Okay,
I
so
completely agree
you
with
think
that.
that there's a difference between the pickle bouncing and not bouncing?
Absolutely.
You think that
It
one of them
has
is
to
illegal,
do
one of
with
them is legal.
it has
So when
to it has to do with the pickling process.
It has to do with the fact that it's a pickle, and it has to do with the fact that you're dropping it from a foot off the ground, because that's not something that you would just do like accidentally. You'd have to like bend over and drop
yeah.
it. Now, when you say a foot, like you're saying a foot off the ground, not a foot away from the stand, right?
No, that doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
I-
a foot off the ground. This is a test of the interior.
yeah, it's a test of the veracity of the pickle.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, are we happy with that answer?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually not going to give you this one. Now, you weren't going to get a point regardless, because the stipulation was you both get a point if you get any of these right. Right?
Okay.
But that being said, it is neither illegal for the pickle to bounce or not bounce.
Okay.
I am going to give Justin a point here. And if he wants, he can split it 50-50 with you.
Okay. Sure.
But so the common myth is that it is illegal in Connecticut to sell pickles that do not bounce. And
I don't know. This pickle's not very bouncy. I don't know if this is okay.
I'm
So,
splitting the point, by the way.
the
I'm
reason
getting that out of the way.
Thank you.
I am giving this point to Justin is because he's right. This myth was created by an old case where 2 men were arrested for adulteration and misrepresentation of food products. Later on, this was like a really old case. So later on in 1948, the FDC commissioner, Frederick Holcomb, discussed some ways to check for good pickles. And one of those ways was to test to see if they bounced or not. Now, the reason that they were found guilty, by the way, their pickles that they were selling were decomposing and contained rat tail maggots.
No. No.
Now, despite all this, there are still many websites, and this is why I had this was my second most researched question. There were many websites that incorrectly state that pickles must bounce in Connecticut without actually doing like their due diligence, and I was able to find a few sources. All of my sources are going to be in the show notes, but the Connecticut State Library actually had this question come up so much, like trying to find info on this law, that they actually put man hours into researching it and found this court case.
That's fantastic.
So I have their article and their website sources, and yeah, so that is the case of the bouncing pickle.
That's fantastic. It's like a Sherlock Holmes novel. It's great. We
I
are
have
running
to
a
get
little
to
low
the
on
bottom of
time,
that.
but based on
You
your
want a third
first
one?
two, I really want to hear the third one. So I want to try to speed run this.
All right, I'll do my best here. All right. So you're traveling to another state for vacation. You've been anticipating this vacation for a while. You blow past a state trooper on a highway going over the speed limit. He's going to pull you over. He asks if you know why he pulled you over. You say, "I'm so sorry for speeding, officer. I've been driving all day and I just need to stop somewhere soon because I really have to poo." Am I in Arkansas yet? Is what you asked legal?
Okay, wait. Are you in Arkansas, or you say you really have to go to the bathroom?
No.
Am I
in Arkansas yet?
Arkansas? Like Arkansas?
Like Arkansas. It's spelled like Arkansas, but it's Arkansas.
No. It's spelled like Arkansas. And you might even say it that way instead.
Okay.
Little hint.
The way that you wait.
What? It's Arkansas.
Okay. Wait a minute. So hold on. The way that he asked the question, specifically saying Arkansas and not Arkansas or
any derivative. Yes.
That's
what I'm looking for.
I don't. Honestly, Justin, my first hit fire, this is illegal. This is illegal because some person from Arkansas, I'm not going to get, some person from Arkansas decided that their state is so amazing that anybody who says it wrong needs to go to jail. Because I really feel like that's what somebody from Arkansas with a little too much power would do.
Justin, do you have any input here?
As to whether or not this is illegal, I mean, I think a lot of what was done leading up to the question was illegal.
Yes, specifically a lot of what was done leading up to the question, probably not great. You shouldn't speed. That's illegal.
Yeah.
But it's saying Arkansas or Arkansas or Arkansas. Any of that.
Arkansas.
Is any of that illegal as opposed to saying Arkansas?
I just want to say yes because it's so specific.
I'm going to say no. I want to say no. I wonder if
convince each other here.
So I wonder if it's some eclectic thing, like you can't mispronounce the state of Arkansas while also needing to poop.
No, it would have to be the reason why this is going to be a point of contention is if they are extrapolating that this was done with malice.
So if you intentionally mispronounce the name because you just hate Arkansas,
I love that.
Or you were purposefully upsetting the officer or something like that, yeah. Or the officer was interpreting that they were doing that, taking
Arkansas's name in vain.
Yeah. Like, there was something about this guy, like, he said Arkansas, and he had an Arkansas license plate, so, like, I knew. You know what I mean? Like, something to
So-
that effect.
I don't know. We already won, but I really feel like this is illegal. But for the sake of time, I will capitulate if you really aren't convinced that it is.
Yeah, I want to go with my gut here.
Okay, so we'll go with it's not illegal.
Okay, so it is perfectly legal to mispronounce Arkansas.
Okay, what was the
That's
issue?
what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what we're agreeing to.
So technically, it is
Yeah.
actually illegal to pronounce Arkansas any other way.
Yep.
Now, it is
Because
the only
it's
state-
fucking Arkansas. Look at where Arkansas is on the map, dear listeners, and you'll immediately know why it's illegal.
Now, it is technically the only state that specifically submitted a correct pronunciation of their name. And the cool part is there's technically no legal penalty for mispronouncing it. So it really doesn't even matter.
So it's just against the law. There's no like.
And I think the reason that it's probably not punishable is it would kind of infringe on your First Amendment rights in so many ways.
Yeah.
Like, but it is kind of cool. It's there's a
It's really
title code
interesting.
for it, so I have all of that also.
That's
in the show
fantastic.
notes,
All in
so-
the show notes. Man, we almost
Law.
will it law, does it law, excuse me, it's does it
Yeah,
law.
does it law, my bad.
But yeah, another new segment for you guys. I think really good showing right off the bat. That was great. Don't say Arkansas, guys. And remember to bounce your pickles.
You gotta check them.
Yeah.
Check them for maggots.
Yeah, that's really what you should be doing.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.